What's cracking, people? Angelic Mayhem here. So, today we're doing a little bit of firefalling, and I wanted to talk about gun pricing. So here I am at the trans hub, right? And this is that ship that goes nowhere. It's just kind of sitting on top of the military base. And over here, this is our gun manufacturing center, right? And over here, this is our crafting component vendor. So this is the guy who has some of the extra stuffs that go into your gun. So let's go in here. Now the question becomes, alright, so you just build a weapon, and let's say that you wanted to sell your old weapon, or even sell the weapon that you just crafted, because maybe you can't use it yet, or maybe you're just deciding to become a weapons vendor. The question is, well, what price should I sell it for? Okay. Now before we get into that, I do want to show you something very interesting. Okay, let's pick any vendor, and we're going to pick this guy at random. And let's say we go into battle frame equipment, right? And I should have a second assault rifle in here. Indeed I do. Okay, so I have one already equipped, and this is another one that I had before this one, which, you know, I just made this one because it was a little bit better. You can see it says it says 529 on the assault rifle. That's the one that I'm using at the moment. The one that I would theoretically be selling to this vendor is the one that says 450, the one on the left. And you can see it says vendor sell price 196. Now I assure you that not only was that rifle not 196 to make, but the new one most certainly wasn't 206. Okay, so that's absolutely absurd that you would sell these weapons at those prices. So the question is, well, where would you actually sell them? All right, well, if we go into our C panel, right, and this is our normal call down menu, which has, you know, like our glider pads and, you know, our, you know, thumping stuffs. But if you right click, that takes you back one. Okay, so this is the call down menu. Up here is the cash shop. That's where you buy red beans to, you know, like get some interesting stuff, and I'll cover that in another video. Here is the marketplace. All right, that's actually where we're going to sell our weapon. Down here is just, you know, some extra stuffs. This is your achievement list. Social is finding friends. Versus if you want a PvP. And then the world map is, you know what that is. So let's go into the marketplace. And now we can actually go up here and we can type in R36. And that should bring up not only various components that you can buy, and already you can see this first component is just the barrel, but it says 750. So you already know that, you know, you were getting ripped off by trying to sell it to a local vendor, because you can get 10 times, well, 100 times the money if you actually go into the marketplace. Okay, so here is an R36 magazine 3 barrel receiver. These are all parts. I'm gonna see if I can find. Here's an assault rifle 4, 50,000. Okay, 150,000. Now that's a really good assault rifle 4. You know that because it's blue. And if you actually could see the bottom of that list, then you would see, you know, all the statistics for it, and it's a pretty amazing weapon. I actually literally could not hold it because, you know, I'm not even close to being able to, like, I don't have enough. I have the cores for it, but I'm pretty sure that I'm going to have to be like a level 9 or a level 10 in the power department in order to physically hold this thing. So I couldn't even use it if I had it on.
Manufacturing.
So the question becomes, all right, well, this is an R36 4. I have an R36 2. So how much should I sell it for? Well, let's go find out. The only way to understand what the actual decent price should be.
Manufacturing process concluded.
Click on R36 assault rifle 2. And so now we start to see the different pieces. Okay, we have the R36 Barrel 2. And if we click on that and click create new component, you can see that it's made of minerals, okay, and biomaterial. So by combining these two, if I click manufacture, we'll create this part. But how much is this? Okay, let's say I use this copper 770. All right, now I went back to the same marketplace and I found out how much copper 770 would be. And we're gonna ballpark it. Okay, we're gonna say it's 9. All right. Now I'm using 100 of them, so that's 900 crystite that I would have to spend in order to create just that half. All right. So now we go into this other side, right, the Xenocrafts, and here, let's say we pick this bipolymer, okay, because I know, you know exactly how much that is. That was 2 per, so this is 100 would be 2. This is 7 would be 700. So together this would be a $900 part. All right, let's go back here. So we know that this is 900 bucks, right? Just because we know what these two are. So let's say that this was 900, and this was 900, and this was 900. Okay, that's 2,700. This was 2,700, and this was 2,700. If I use them both, now you can actually, remove this component if you want to make it a little bit cheaper, but we're not going to get into that. And then there's the 1,200 for the Crystite itself. So that's 27. 27 is 54. Add another 27 would be 81. And then add this 1,200 would be 93. So that's 9,300 Crystite would be the appropriate price for this rifle, assuming that I actually, added up all of the different things. Because this actually, when you click on this component, this is a component that has to be made too. So this one is a little bit more expensive. You got to get all the way into here. And then here's another thing. Each of the rifles use Aranha DNA. All right. In order to create this component right here, this refined Aranha component, you actually have to collect a bunch of DNA samples. Now, you cannot buy DNA. You actually have to go out and spend time killing off creatures in order to get it. So that's another consideration that you have to make, is that, theoretically, you could not include that in the cost, but you did spend a lot of time picking up all this DNA. Especially if you go out and you drop down a thumper someplace and you physically farm all the creatures that come out, that's DNA that you actually spent money on. So that's another consideration that's a little bit more difficult to actually put a price tag on. All these things combined together, you add them all up, and then the question becomes, well, do you want to sell it for the cost of all these things, or do you want to make a profit? My suggestion to you would be to add all of these things together, which we came up with 93, and then to add 20% to that, or, add 20% to that. So 20% would be 18.3. So if I added that, that would give us 11,100 and change, okay? So that would be the appropriate cost for this particular R36 Assault Rifle 2. And that would change depending upon, if you wanted to make this, let's say, out of crap material. All right, scroll all the way down to the bottom of the list. And use this crap stuff. Silicate is practically worthless. So you could actually use this instead. You would have a really low quality weapon, but you could bring the price down to something that's more reasonable. Do not cut yourself short. Yes, you're going to get out to the marketplace, and yes, there are going to be a bunch of Assault Rifle 2s that are of crap quality, all right? But you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't specifically build a crappy rifle just to bring the price down. You want to create a quality product and then tack on 20% and leave it out there. Leave it out there for days or weeks or whatever it takes in order to sell it. So this would be 11,000 and change. Now, I am currently in the process of building my R36 Assault Rifle 3. This is going to be on sale simply because I cannot physically use it. I do not have PowerTech 8.
A sizable force of Chosen are gearing up for
something. It's going to be a while before I get to PowerTech 8, so this is literally going to be for sale.
I think we should investigate.
It will be on the market for 36,000. That's because I have used some pretty amazing stuff to build the R36 Barrel 3, and also this magazine, which you can see is already blue. So that ought to give you an idea of the kinds of materials that I've been using for this.
Boss,
and that's it. One last thing is that, R36 R2, okay, there's nothing in this slot right here, but if you look here, there's this iridium. Another one of these items that you can buy. It is incredibly expensive. I happen to find this one, so that's going to be pure profit for me. But I am including it as if I did buy it in my manufacturing cost. And then again, I'm adding 20%, so that gives me my 36. So anyway, that is how you actually price, one of these units. Again, stabilization subroutine and structural subroutine. You have to decide which one you want to use. Then you go buy it from the crafting vendor. He's over here. And each one of these has a different power requirement. I'm sorry, a different
Transhub is alerting locals about Chosen near the old hydrocore facility in Lagoa
Right,
Rasa.
different CPU requirement.
Judging by the numbers,
and then also,
it's a raid party.
each one has a different price. So, you know, you have to decide, do I want to buy this one, which makes the gun lighter, which allows you to fly higher, so that's a good thing, but at the same time, it costs a CPU. Everything that you have on you that costs a CPU, you only have so many. I personally have 7 CPUs, and my rifle is the only thing that I use that uses CPUs. So that's not a problem for me at all. I would be more than happy to shell out, if this was my personal R3 rifle, I would be happy to shell out for, subroutine 5, if I could afford it. And I actually can when I sell some of the things that I have that are on the market right now. But anyway, that is a look at how to price a rifle. Hopefully that helps you with your armament selling. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please click the like button or subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content like this in the future. I'm Angelic Mayhem, and I will see you next time.